Hello, welcome to the Sigma Made Simple channel. This channel is dedicated to explaining the principles of Lean Sigma and Six Sigma to anyone with little or no knowledge but wish to make improvements to any type of measurable process. My name is Dennis Wells, and I was learning about these tools even before I was certified in 2008 as a Six Sigma Black Belt and a Lean Sigma Green Belt in 2009. I have continued that learning as I believe in their power when applied properly. That is what I hope to explain on this channel. In this video, we will show you how to take an opportunity into inactive status and why we did it. You should begin with the first video posted on this channel and watch them in order so you have a better understanding of the processes. The next series of videos will go through Lean Sigma. This is the seventh and last video for finding opportunities, converting them to projects, creating project charters, and managing projects. We will review an entire process from assigning someone to the fact-finding phase to that person creating a project charter, the team updating the EIC tool and deciding to go inactive after a little bit more work, updating the project charter, and eventually updating the EIC tool based on what was found in the additional work. I'm going to open up that EIC tool now so that we can get a look at it and explain what was going on. Let's just go ahead and make this full screen. A little bit better picture. So in this tool, there was an opportunity with an OPN of 245. In a previous video, we changed the EIC, E, and the I and the C so that the OPN was does 63, but we didn't explain much detail as to why. We're going to explain why here. The opportunity was step 2 and 9 do not agree on pass-fail criteria. This is a rather vague opportunity, and it was difficult to come up with the EIC numbers at the time, but it was the top 3, so we decided to assign Mario to the following task. And his task was to create the project charter and complete sections 1 through 6 except section 5. Gather enough data to accurately update the E, I, and C numbers. We gave him until the 9th of April. So after the EIC tool is updated by the team, Mario has been assigned to go through fact finding. He's going to create a project charter. I'm going to bring up that project charter and show you the things that he did. We're going to try to keep this fairly brief because we don't have to go into a lot of detail. But he assembled a team of people he thought were important for just going through some fact finding. He defined his scope. His scope is product A, and product B and C are out of scope. He had a problem statement. Station 9 has an inspection yield of 90%, while Station 3 has passed 100% of that product. The result is lost labor in the amount of about 6 minutes on 10% of the product due to finding the failures on Station 9 instead of 3. His goals: align Station 3 pass-fail results to Station 9 so Station 9 has 100% yield, because you don't want anything coming off the line that's bad. Also, pass and attributes gauge R&R between stations with a combination of process and automated equipment. Third goal: implement in less than 9 months after the request for capital is approved. Do not spend capital until sample units have passed and attributes gauge R&R and MSA. His cost benefit, or his business case, was 6 minutes in lost labor on 10% of the product when 1 million products per year pass through Station 9 is a loss of 100,000 times, 1 million, there's a zero missing there, 0.1, that would be 100,000 times 6, that's 600,000 minutes or 10,000 hours of lost labor per year. At a labor rate of 72.50 per hour, the impact is a savings of up to $725,000 per year. That's about what we predicted, so the impact is going to stay the same. Automated inspection units may need to be purchased, as upgrading current cameras and monitors reduces attributes gauge R&R when manually inspecting. The cost is estimated to be $225,000 for 35 units and the supporting equipment. Of course, this is just an estimate that he's done in the beginning, but he did look at a gauge R&R between the current equipment on station 3 and 9 and found that the gauge R&R wasn't passing. So the cost is updated in the EIC tool to a 3 from a 7 due to the need for automated inspection equipment rather than just updating cameras or monitors. But he found when he went out there was the monitors were all different sizes, the cameras were all different types, they had different resolutions. It's just they were basically buying whatever was available at the time. So ease is updated to a 3 due to higher cost, requiring a more lengthy approval process for the capital. Let's go to the next section. This is where we put our summary results. We don't have anything here yet because we're still in fact finding. The last section he needed to fill out was a counterbalance, and he's decided with the management and the other people in the area that they do not want to put at risk the current quality of product coming off the end of the line. And we do not want to decrease the yield at station 3 where the loss in labor and the cost is greater than our current loss at station 9. So basically, we don't want to spend more than $725,000 to improve the process because we're only going to save $725,000. So after he's done with this, I'm going to close this out. What we do is he comes back to the team and we go ahead and decide to update the EIC tool again. So I'm going to open that tool here and we'll see what that does. As you can see, we updated the ease to a 3 and cost to a 3. That gave us a 63 instead. So this is where we decide on going inactive, or do we do an additional step or additional tasks and then go inactive. And the team has decided to do some additional tasks for a few reasons. One, the equipment is new to the market and it's leading edge. So it's really one of a kind and it could be a game changer. It'll take about 30 labor hours to review an attributes gauge R&R and see what the results are when we try out this new equipment. So we figure we can spend 30 hours to try to figure out if we can get something out of it. And then if we cannot get authorization for the project today, it's going to take months to get authorization to spend the money. Another reason why we want to go inactive, because we don't want to sit around and wait while we're going to sit and wait in inactive status while we get the money and the capital together. But we still need to be ready to implement in case there's customer complaints when this new equipment maybe makes it to the customers and they start using it. That's going to be more capable than what we have now. We do want to avoid that, so we're going to continue working on it to see what it would take to implement it. We're also going to look at any issues that there might come about as a result of implementation and then recommend some avoidance. So in the updated charter, we settle on the use of an attributes gauge R&R. We review the tool coming up next. And for the EIC tool, since we got a 63, we're going to change this to prepare to improve. We're not going to do anything other than prepare. We're going to get a system that passes the attributes gauge R&R and update the project charter. So he's going to check on the equipment. So what Mario and his team are going to do is they're going to go back to the project charter and they're going to clean it up a little bit and try to figure out what it would take to implement something like this and what the impact might be if there's any other additional issues that they're going to have to try to avoid while we're waiting for the approval process from management for the capital. So I'm going to pull up the new project charter, and this has been updated by him and his team, by Mario and his team. You're going to see that things are a little bit different here. Scope is the same, but he did change his problem statement. And and this is typical of a real process. Lean Sigma, Six Sigma. As you learn more, you update your problem statements and your goals and things like that to be a little bit more accurate, a little bit more defined. It keeps your team focused. It's almost like a five whys, but that's a different tool. So this problem statement is equipment used in station 3 and 9 do not pass attributes gauge R&R, costing the company 10,000 hours in lost labor per year due to rework being caught at station 9 instead of station 3. Nice and easy. We removed the first goal to align them because we're going to restate that as pass and attributes gauge R&R between the stations. And then we still want to implement in less than 9 months after the request for capital is approved. And he's going to generate an equipment list of what we would need to buy based off of his investigation here. And that doesn't have to be in here. It can be another list, easier to deal with. Same with the process. He's generated a process for how to run the equipment, and then they generated a process for how to maintain it and set it up. That you need all of these things before you can do any sort of gauge R&R. So they increase the quality of the product at station 2. So one of the things that they found, and you'll see a little bit later, and is they saw that at station 2, if they upgraded equipment, their first pass yield was going to go down. So their goal was to increase the quality of the product at station 2 so it is above 85% when using the automated equipment. Do not spend the money to implement the new equipment or processes until this is successful. Another goal, recommendation that all new processes developed for station 2 use the new equipment and processes for development work. This is going to help you in the future. So this cost benefit analysis is basically the same. It wasn't a whole lot different. Basically, it's still saving about 10,000 hours, and then at 72.50 per labor hour, $725,000 a year. You can remove this part. That's why it's crossed out. Just wanted to remind you that it was there. Automated inspection units need to be purchased, upgrading rather than upgrading current cameras. This is the same as what it was before. The cost estimated to be $225,000. That's the same as what it was before. We don't need to put this in here. I just underlined or crossed it out just so that we wouldn't forget that we had it here. And you can just take it out of the project charter altogether at this point because we don't need it. We did add something here. If the equipment and processes are implemented prior to improving station 2 quality, it will cost $779,000 more in rework per year. So that's why we have to improve Station 2's value-added activity so that when we do our non-value-added inspection activity on Station 3, we're not going to dump our yield to the point where we're losing more money and we can't make our customers happy. So here we do have summary results because he does have some information. He's going to put this project in inactive. The decision was made to put this in inactive until the money is available for the new equipment. The following was done during the fact phase to prepare for the active phase. We investigated the current attributes gauge R&R to see where we were. We do not currently pass attributes gauge R&R with a result of 65%. We asked ourselves, can upgrading the current cameras and monitors improve attributes gauge R&R? No. When the equipment is upgraded to a higher resolution, more defects are seen, and the gauge R&R attributes gauge R&R result drops from 65% to 40%. As more defects are seen, there's more to disagree on. And then investigated the automated equipment to see if it could pass attributes gauge R&R, and it does when it is set up properly and ran properly. So the attributes gauge R&R for this equipment is 94%. It was realized that the current process in Station 2 needed to be improved, or first pass yield at Station 3 would decrease from 85% to 66%. We're going to go back to the EIC tool, and we're going to update that and make everything go inactive. This is how you take a project that's in fact finding to inactive. I'm going to bring this up now. So if we follow along with what we've got here, let's make this full screen, make it a little bit easier to see. We're going to put this in inactive. Okay, so now we're officially going to inactive, and we're going to come over here and we're going to put some explanations in here. We're going to say we're going to put the project on hold until the issue with station 2 is resolved. That's our action. And then we have a little bit more detail here where it says until station 2 issues are resolved and money is available to purchase the capital. Now, over time, when you first start using this tool, you're going to follow the OPN number. But after that, after you kind of get your legs under your body or your feet under your legs or whatever, you start getting better at it. You might want to start resorting these. So as you can see, you have some high impact items here. And so in the future, what you might want to do is you might want to go ahead and look at these high impact projects. And they may not be easy, but they have high impact. And associated with them is a little bit of a high cost as well. So once you get a little bit better at doing projects, you might want to just sort by your impact and start assigning those types of projects to personnel as well, especially if you've got the time to do them and you've got the resources to do them, go ahead and finish them. Now, what was interesting was when they were going through that last project charter, they found that Station 2 wasn't doing so well. And so they did a little bit of an investigation, and then they came into the EIC tool and they added this to the EIC tool. And basically, it's a new opportunity that they found. It says 1 in 550 parts fail at the end of the line due to the cleaning process, damaging the part between stations 3 and 9. This costs the company $19,770 in labor for rework and $6,363 in materials per million parts per year per line. So having 17 lines that would benefit from this new process, the total possible savings is $444,000 per year in labor, $459 in materials, $900,000 basically you could save. That's sitting there for potential impact. You would need 3 units per line at $4,400 each. The cost would be $224. So now that you've got that, you can actually come in here and fill in your impact and your cost. You do your best guess for your ease, and then you do have some facts here. Now, this isn't something you're working on, but you're going to put some information in here anyway. So the actions would be qualify non-contact cleaning system like the Viavi Clean Blast. There's a cost savings in materials as well, since the cost for cleaning fluid is 10% of the current cost savings using wipes. Currently, we use our current cost is about 3 cents in wipes per unit, and this is going to be 0.3 cents. So a savings of 2.7 cents. Now these numbers are nowhere near reality. I'm just putting them in there as an example. So over in the comments, this was noticed during a fact finding of the mismatch and inspection between stations 9 and 3. We're going to close this off. So this concludes the processes for finding opportunities, converting opportunities to projects, completing projects, adding new projects, sorting based on impact and cost or any criteria you choose, and making projects inactive. The next videos will speak in more detail on the tools used for Lean Sigma and Six Sigma. If you found this video useful, like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone else who may find it useful. If you didn't find this video useful, then subscribe in the hope that an upcoming video will be. Eventually, we'll go through projects using Lean Sigma and Six Sigma tools. Remember, a wise person learns from their mistakes, while a genius learns from the mistakes of others. I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.